Guys, welcome back to Curious Minds. And in this video I will be talking about the disappeared star in a day, this PHL star, and the additional things which we are gonna learn is what is a supernova, hypernova, and stellar winds. So there are two theories actually defining how it disappeared. So let's get started. So the first theory of this thing is that of this star. Well, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what is a luminous star. Yes, what is a luminous blue variable? These stars are generally very rare because astronomers have only detected 20 of them so far, and they actually suspect a few more hundred alone in the Milky Way. So these types of stars are very rare. Stars are very rare. They are actually very rare. So they are more luminous, they are more brighter, they are actually massively evolved stars. They show great variation in their spectra and their brightness. They show great variation in their spectra and brightness, which is at some time they increase their brightness to the highest point, and at some time they decrease their brightness to the lowest point. So this decreasing of brightness actually is again a rare phenomenon which most stars do not do, but this is a special thing about the star. Another rare thing about the star is our sun releases stellar winds. You may ask first, what is a stellar wind? A stellar wind is actually a solar flare. It is a flow of wind from a star with particles consist like electrons, protons, neutrons, etc. So they flow. They actually it's a type of gas. Our sun. You have heard about the solar flare. Yes, this is actually a big thing. The sun loses a part of its portion. A star loses a little bit a part of its portion, well, like 0.001, that portion it loses, and it also releases tons. It also releases tons of energy. Tons of energy it releases. It releases tons of energy. Okay, it releases tons of energy, and you may ask why. Generally, this is a stellar wind. So, but these blue luminous variables or luminous blue variables, whatever, these stars actually eject more this stellar winds, which they almost lose half of their brightness. They almost lose half of their brightness. Our sun not even loses 0.1% of its brightness, but these stars almost lose half of their brightness away, and these stellar winds can actually form a nebula. And why I am talking about the stellar winds is this relates to a theory proven by theory which scientists are again doing research. They are saying this is maybe one of the reasons. So now we will talk about it later. Now we'll get back on the topic. We'll now discuss what is a supernova. A supernova is a type of explosion when a star reaches its last stages of its life. Like for example, the closest neighbor, Betelgeuse. After 100 years, it explodes. Or you may not take 100 years. After 1 billion years, it explodes as it has ended its life cycle. Or a white dwarf star explodes dwarf star is triggered into a runaway nuclear fission. It is triggered into a runaway nuclear fission as it cannot hold the gravitation of its own core. Its core collapses. It cannot hold the more matter because there are more matters. So it cannot hold that much matter. So it just somewhat flashes up, just explodes, collapsing under its own gravitational force. So now let's talk about what is a hypernova. A hypernova is generally a type of third C type of supernova. It is actually the main reason why gamma ray bursts are happening. This is actually the reason why gamma ray bursts are coming. So first, a hypernova is actually like a type of supernova. So hypernova generally it's very massive. This hypernovas actually produce materials with unusually high kinetic energy. They produce some materials with unusually high kinetic energy. So this high kinetic energy things what makes this hypernova more powerful. So now what is the difference, you may ask? The difference between two between these two is simple. When a supernova explodes, the gas spreads in every direction. The gas spreads in every direction. But when when a hypernova takes place, the gamma ray burst comes straight at some point. They go at straight line at one point, and this gamma ray can get clash with anything. So that's all about this supernova and the hypernova. Now let's get back to this two topics, the two theories. Sorry for that. Let's get back to these two theories. These two theories are: one, it would have not exploded in a supernova or not exploded in a hypernova. These would have not exploded in these two categories, but it would have collapsed on its own gravitational force. It can't bear the matter, collapsed on its own gravitational force and making into a tiny black hole. So if this rare phenomena happens, this will be the first time ever in the universe this event will occur. No supernova, no hypernova, but turning into a black hole and collapsing on its own core. So this is the first time if this happens, but we need to wait for until 10 years to conclude this, because then only we can see that accretion disk. So this is the first theory. And the second theory which scientists say that is that I will talk about the stellar winds now. This luminous blue variables actually release can form a nebula. No, I said that it could form a nebula. So it would have formed a nebula and it would not be visible to our eye. It would not be visible to our eye. So this also actually takes more than a decade or more, and scientists are still working or researching on it whether this would happen or this would happen. These two are the most possible ways that this star. So what do you think? Whether this star would have turned into a tiny black hole, or is it still there in the universe? So comment in the comment section, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you have any friends who are interested in astronomy, share this video so that they can know what's happening. And don't forget to subscribe to Curious Minds for more awesome videos. Until a good video, this is me, Curious Minds, signing off. Stay home, stay safe, bye.